Hello there, and a very warm welcome to another edition of Channels Beam. I'm Victor Matthias. Now, Nigerians have been waiting and watching to see the efforts that will be made by the federal government to provide and create jobs, as that was a key promise the President Muhammadu Buhari-led government made while campaigning before the national elections in 2015. However, over a year now on the saddle, to what extent has this promise been kept? Today on the program, we will be beaming our searchlight on the activities of the government in terms of job creation. But before then, let's make a detour and go through what made the trends list in the past week. Students in Osun caused a stir among their colleagues as they appeared in school in choir robes and other church garments. This was a fallout of the decision by the Christian Association of Nigeria CAN Osun State Chapter to allow the Christian students exercise their fundamental human rights following the judgment of the Osun State High Court upholding the use of hijab for willing female students across public schools in the state. The Kara Cattle Market community under the bridge along the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway has become a mecca of some sort, with residents of the community and passers-by trooping to see the dried section of the river, which once provided water for the Kara Cattle and Ram Market. Unidentified green plants are seen on the river, while the water body has given way. Oh, how amazing that is. But back to the business of the day. I am now being joined by Ifeoluwa Adebayo, who is the Special Assistant on Innovation and Entrepreneurship to the Vice President. Thanks for coming on the program.
Thank you very much. Good to be here.
We also have Moshokwe Olaoshebikon, a Special Assistant on Media and Information Communications and Technology to the Vice President. Thanks for coming on the program.
Thanks for having me.
Again, we have the Technical Advisor to the Job Creation Unit of the Presidency, Ikem Isiekwena.
Well, thanks for having me. It's a delight to be here.
Thanks for coming as well. And we also have the Senior Special Assistant to the Vice President on Job Creation, Mr. Afolabi Imokwede. Thanks for coming on the program.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Now, let's begin with what the government has done so far in terms of job creation.
One of the major things that the government promised was immediate intervention to create direct jobs from government. And as you know, the last budget year was a budget that did not factor in the government's plans because it wasn't this administration's budget. But in the new budget year, the government has put in place plans to employ 500,000 people in a volunteer corps for the federal government. 300,000 of them will be teachers. There will be some who will work as agric extension workers. There will be another set who will work as public health extension workers and civic education extension workers. So these are 500,000 immediate graduate jobs. Aside that, another key thing that this government has focused on, and you will remember that when Julius Berger and a few other companies visited President Muhammadu Buhari and spoke about the problem of getting the right people with the right skills to work, one of the core things he said was that we have to improve the skills of our people, because one of the key ingredients of job creation is to ensure that you have the right that the human resources are equipped with the right skills. So the government has also put in place plans this year to train 75,000 build Nigeria artisans and also 25,000 young Nigerians with tech skills. So that's a total of 600,000 by direct intervention.
The first thing to understand is that people need jobs. We want to, provide a country and an environment where jobs are enabled. Productivity is at an all-time high and all of that. But while we have that aspiration, we also recognize that we have, unhealthy or ailing public services. So you look at our education, for years we've had millions of children that are out of school. We have inadequate health provision, health facilities. We also have a country that is becoming bereft of civic education. So our strategy is to say all these public services, how can we use this interventionist workforce of 500,000 to get these services, working at, near optimum, and also provide stipends for the folks who are in the program. But also understanding that it's only a 2-year program. So when everyone is on stream, what they have to focus on as well is to learn skills that will make them economically viable when they exit the program.
All right, I'll come back to you later in the show, but ICT has been fingered as a key driver that will take Nigeria's ranking to the top 20, that's in terms of economy in the world by the year 2030. What is the government doing in terms of creating jobs in that sector, Mushokwe?
So for the first time, the president will be hosting startups from different parts of the country. And so at an event called the Aso Villa Demo Day. And then this will be happening July 2028 in Abuja. And at that event, we hope to have the best startups from different parts of the country exhibit, showcase some of the amazing things they are doing. And if these startups can get the opportunity to extend some of their innovative ideas into government. Right now, government is talking about ease of doing business and a whole lot of other stuff. And our local guys, the guys on ground, can actually do a whole lot to solve some of these problems that the government is facing. An interesting thing again is it's also an opportunity for investors from guys like recently you heard about the investment by Mark Zuckerberg in Andela, which is the homegrown technology company training locals on coding. So these are the things we're expecting after the demo day, and interestingly, this is the first time that we're having that kind of support from the presidency.
So what happens after these tech gurus now display their solutions to the problems the government is facing? How do you move to implementation from there?
No, so the interesting thing is, so the event in Abuja is like a meet-up event where we'll be linking up investors, we'll be linking up leaders in the public sector to startups, right? So what we expect is for certain investors to pick ideas or startups that they're interested in at the demo day on July 28th in Abuja. And then government is also interested in local content. So it's also an opportunity for leaders in the public sector, ministers and all, to look at solutions that are applicable in government and for adoption, of course. And then, of course, it opens up, it's a window that opens up to more opportunities for the startups.
The whole essence of technology for us as a key focus of government, it's again to strengthen our narrative around diversifying the economy away from oil dependency. And if we are therefore going to do that, we must look very critically into local content. We must look at strategies that strengthen our local content. We must look at strategies that strengthen the ecosystem, particularly the technology ecosystem, and really putting technology in the place where it ought to be. And what is that? We know that economies that have thrived are economies that have used technology as that leapfrog, really as an enabler and as a multiplier of solutions, solution provider across sectors. And that's really what technology is for us. And the Aso Villa Demo Day that my other colleagues have spoken about is really one of those catalytic events to again to bring the emblem of the highest organ of government, which is the president, the vice president, the various ministers in the FECs and the key actors to endorsing this strategy. Like you already know, what we'll be doing there is it's really again to stimulate local thinking, to see what, most times government has stayed inwards and tried to design something for outside, forgetting that the critical stakeholders, which is we Nigerians, that outside of government. There are a lot of solutions that are locked in there.
All right, just hold your thoughts for a minute. We'll take a quick break and we'll be back shortly. Stay with us.